This is our a luxury to have all this cultural diversity, and it is shown via film. The film is necessary to make people understanding what does it mean to be European. Not having one culture, but having a lot of cultures, but based on the same values.
La problématique vis-à-vis des films européens, vis-à-vis des films de nationalités différentes, c'est un problème aussi d'éducation. Il faut que les jeunes, que les adultes n'aient pas peur d'aller voir des films qui soient différents, n'aient pas peur d'aller voir des films qui soient de cultures différentes, qui soient en langues différentes, voilà, qui soient avec des comédiens qu'ils ne connaissent pas.
It's really a matter and duty of the national vision and cultural development to take it as a cultural tool of education and not as a commercial tool. These films need help, and these cinemas and this system of distribution need help from the state, or from the European Union.
C'est quand même rare qu'un Parlement promotionne des œuvres cinématographiques, et ça je trouve vraiment très bien de faire un lien entre ceux qui en général sont enfermés en train de faire des textes de loi et en même temps leur capacité à promouvoir une autre image des valeurs européennes qu'ils essayent de traduire dans des textes législatifs.
And all these films which we have seen in this year, in the last 2 years, they are based on the values and they have a message. Message also for politics. It means to find solutions for some of the problems shown. So I think it is both. It is interesting, it is showing the European way of life, and it is giving some input to some politicians and to some citizens. Because not every citizen is aware of the fact how we treat immigrants, how the situation is in some suburbs, and so on and so on.
Let me say how innovative I find this Prix Lux, because it's not just a statue you receive, but you receive something real. You have your film in 23 or more languages.
Well, the first step has been done. It means like subtitles are very important. So what the Prix Lux is doing is great, because it gives subtitles to one film, but in all of the European languages.
La traduction, ou plus exactement le sous-titrage, est une façon de promouvoir un film et de le faire connaître à ceux qui sinon ne s'y seraient jamais intéressés parce qu'il n'aurait jamais été sous-titré et certainement pas doublé, et donc du coup où il aurait été présenté alors de façon dans un ersatz un peu pas très bon, dans un doublage en anglais, ce qui n'a plus aucun sens parce qu'on perd toute la substance du film, et donc le sous-titrage est vraiment une façon de diffuser au-delà des frontières.
The Lux Award is a very nice thing. You know, it's a good first step.
Then another step would be that you have maybe some movie houses which agree to program European movies, even if they're not as commercial and popular in the beginning as American cinema, but that they could also hold it for some while, not that after 3 days it's already gone. Like you would have to try and change viewing habits of a public.
We have to go farther to bring those films, those Lux films, awarded or non-awarded, you know, European films, you know, to a brighter audience all over Europe, you know. It's a pity that, you know, these little masterpieces are made in Bulgaria or Greece or Scandinavia, you name it, Portugal, you know. You get maybe the most successful films in your own country, but I want to see more, you know, and I don't have the possibility to see more. When you go to a Cinemax, you know, when you go to a multiplex, you have like 16 screens, you know, and 12 or 13 of them are American films.
But then what was already said by my colleagues is that the next step is how are people going to see these films? So distribution needs some help, even if it's not the aggressive marketing, because this needs a lot of money, but if it's some funding for the maybe even non-commercial distribution, but the possibility to have access to the films. And maybe you could start with the films showing here, not only the winning films, but maybe all the films in competition. Every year I heard it's like 10 films. So if European countries, distributors, art house cinemas would have the possibility to have access to these films, this would be a first step. And these are 23 countries which are usually not able to show these films.
Well, I think it's very important that European countries do not understand their culture as only natural heritage. It's very important that Europe as a whole sees its culture as a whole, and therefore it's very important also to pay attention to the distribution of films of the neighboring countries. It's important that France has a look at German films, Germany has a look at Bulgarian films, and Bulgaria has a look at Latvian films. And you need an instrument to improve the distribution.